Yeah, yeah, 360. Yeah, I'm like round and round and round we go. And where we stop, I'm like nobody knows. 360 degrees, 360 degrees. We give you what you want, we give you what you need. 360 degrees, 360 degrees. We tell the real truth, you know what I mean? This the breakdown, 360 degrees. We give you what you want, we give you what you need. We talking politics and news, and music reviews, as well as rags and TV. You know how we do, and music from some artists you never heard of. But when you hear them, you gon' show them some love. 360 degrees, 360 degrees. We give you what you want, we give you what you need.
And welcome to another edition of the Urban Breakdowns, 360 degrees. Odie, what you got?
Oh.
She's still not used to this whole chivalry thing.
I don't know why I just expected it to be a longer intro, but good morning, everybody. In the vein of what's going on.
Why? Do you see how long the intro is? The music part? I mean, that's like a minute and a half by itself. You know, just get right into it after that. You know what I mean?
Sure, we go to the good stuff.
Right,
okay,
right,
so, interestingly enough, the other day in our group chat, we were talking about what the theme for this week's show should be, and in that vein of hate, we kind of talked about like that should be the theme is whether or not people are being hated on and just general hate coming from different directions. And recently, the person that I have really enjoyed musically has become a subject of hate, and that's Tyrese. If you've been following social media, it has been a popcorn-worthy, reality show-worthy, sometimes cringe-worthy festival of things that Tyrese has gone on social media and said. If you haven't been paying attention, basically this man is fighting his ex-wife and child's mother for custody of their child. I don't know how old the child is, but she's definitely either just in middle school or like late elementary. So it's probably around like 10, no older than 12 years old. And he had gone to the lengths of like, he had gone and put up a banner, like what are those things called where they're attached to the plane? You guys know what I'm talking about?
Oh, you're talking about oh yeah, like when they do the you have like a little plane and has like a banner hanging off the side of it.
Yeah.
Exactly. And he had it flown over her school, and it had some ridiculous message like "Daddy loves you" or some shit. It was just like to me, it was embarrassing for the kid and really unnecessary because he's trying to say like I love my daughter so much. But everything kind of culminated the other day because he goes online, has a sweatshirt on that said her name. It said like, I forgot her name, but let's just call her Shayla because that name sticks out to me. But it says something like, she rocks. And everybody is like talking mad shit about this guy on social media, but I'm kind of with them because in the video he's crying or pretending to cry. He's like he's like, what do you want from me? And he goes off on these random ass tangents, kind of like I'm going now, just because he has no direction. So it's hard for me to have direction when I talk about it. The dude has gone from beefing with The Rock to beefing with his baby mama. But luckily, everything hopefully things will calm down, mainly because this guy, one of the allegations with him trying to get custody was that he was violent towards the daughter, and those charges have been dropped. So luckily he's gotten off there, but I'm sure the custody battle is going to continue. And the dude is a mess. The dude is a mess.
You know, and from what I've heard, his beef with The Rock was over the fact that supposedly The Rock is supposed to be doing a spin-off of Fast and Furious with his character from the show, and that's going to push back Fast and Furious 9, and supposedly Tyrese is broke from all those court battles with his baby's mama, and of course all those airplanes flying over his daughter's school can't be cheap. But
right,
he's pretty much. I mean, at first I was like, "The hell is this dude thinking?" But then I saw how desperate he was, and I was just like, oh, "Okay." Because those allegations against him, about him, beating his daughter, is probably not getting him a lot of work other than the Fast and Furious franchise. So I can
he's ready to quit. This man is highly unstable. He's like, I'm going to quit. I'm like, sir, you're not even like an integral character. Like, I would totally be fine. Like, not. And I thought about what's his name, Terrence Howard, when he got replaced. Threatening to quit, and he got replaced with Don Cheadle. Like, they'll replace your ass. Like, no problem.
Yeah, I don't know what, and probably because I don't like Terrence Howard. I don't know why. He's like my Black Ben Affleck. Like, I just hate him for no reason. But I laughed when he got replaced because he wanted more money, and they were just like, dude, no. There's plenty of guys who are better than you who could do the job, and they proved that. Don Cheadle is much better than Terrence Howard. I'm sorry, that's just my opinion, but.
So Tyrese has been, but if you look in the comments, 50 Cent posted the video of Tyrese crying.
Fucking 50 Cent.
And 50 Cent's comment said, when them pockets is hit, boy, goddamn, LOL. Fuck him. He should have minded his business when I was talking to Taraji. He came jumping in like he think he was a fucking movie punk-ass Coca-Cola kid. The punk-ass Coca-Cola kid. I mean, 50 is highly unpredictable too, but he is
we all can't start our careers by getting shot in the face. So I know 50's in a unique position to start his career by getting shot by drug dealers. Tyrese got his start singing the commercial.
I just saw the documentary of the real 50 Cent. Yeah, that shit was off the chain. Well,
you talking about 50 Cent, the stick-up kid.
Yeah, it's a treasure trove of shit that you just never even knew you could find on the internet. Damn, you'd be surprised. Just think of something off the chain, off the wall. I don't know. And I bet you'll find a video on it. It might be a shitty-ass video, but I bet you'll find a video of it on YouTube. I just had a little segue as I eat my Pop-Tart.
They called him, from what I heard, they called him 50 Cent because he would rob you no matter how much money you had in your pocket, even if you only had 50 cents. You take it from me.
Another one would be that he used to play craps, and he had 50 Cent, and he ran away. When it was all said and done, he had $500. Where I'm from, we call man a hundreds, and so 50 Cent means you half a man. You know what I'm saying? He was a short little dude. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I might have to check that out. Shoot us the link. Am I going to be upset like I watched something about the dog? Because you still on probation.
No. Hey, that was just a short little 20-something minute thing. It's just how Oz heard of.
It was a very interesting perspective. It kind of, I feel like it fit our brand as far as being eclectic, being it was out there. Anyway, all right. Speaking of out there, and another focus of hate as far as my celebrities are concerned, because I'm always involved in these celebrities lives. Okay, so apparently Chrisette Michele was on The Breakfast Club, and I definitely wanted to talk about her this week because we just talked about her last week.
Right.
Or, excuse me, the last week that I was on the show, so I think that was about 2 weeks ago. And we were talking about, I remember Blue saying how odd she had become, and I was saying I wasn't really familiar with her personality, but I was familiar with her music, and, she was pretty good as far as her body of work is concerned. Anyway, she goes on The Breakfast Club, and recently she had, on her own social media page, she had posted a picture of a miscarriage photo. I was too afraid to look up what exactly a miscarriage photo looks like, but I can think of 2 women off the top of my head who have gone through stillbirth and a miscarriage, and it doesn't seem like it's pleasant. And I remember the description of the miscarriage was really, really graphic. So I would definitely not go looking for that photo. But basically, come to find out, she posted someone else's miscarriage photo. And then defended what she wrote. But in the interview, she was saying, they asked her about it and said, why did you post someone else's photo? And she said, because I had gone through it, and when I was going through it, I didn't think to take a picture. People don't read. It basically like justifying putting up someone else's photo. Now, I don't know how the woman felt about it, about her photo being taken by Chrisette Michele, but I don't care what people fucking read. Like, don't insult my intelligence or assume that I'm not going to read unless you put some graphic photo up there to grab my attention first. I read. And I was just like, if this is what Blue was talking about, I could see why people are not feeling her, because she's fucking cuckoo crazy. I can't find any way to defend that, taking someone else's tragedy and purporting it as your own.
Now, to me, if she brought her miscarriage to the show, that would be cuckoo crazy. It was just in poor taste, in very poor taste for her to do that, to try and get some attention because she ain't selling records no more. And I know I've never sold a record in my life, so it's not like I'm trying to be mean in that respect as a critic. But put it like, if you put on a Chrisette Michele song right now, I probably wouldn't even know it. I don't even listen to her like that. But I'm just going by, I just looked her up lately because she was blaming her whole misfortunes on Trump, and I'm like, yeah, that's been happening long before Trump. So don't even do that horse shit. But I mean, did she say why she did it? I mean, I know she was defending it, but what was her total rationale for it? I know she wanted to bring attention to it, and because people don't read, and I'm just like, we're not all Donald Trump. We don't need all of our briefings in pictures. And
so what's crazy is she did say, like, she said, she used the phrase, women's issues fall on deaf ears. That is which the irony of it, when you think about this administration trying to take away women's rights, women's health rights and reproductive rights, that's a whole other issue. But like, that's to me the irony of it. But if you've ever read like social media comments, those are equally entertaining. And I think this person sums it up best. Her name is, or her username is Faithin. She's on IG. And it says, so concerned about women's health issues falling on deaf ears and being disregarded, but sang for Trump's inauguration, is she listening? Or, excuse me, she said, is he listening? So the overall consensus, though, is she's crazy. It says, child by, no ma'am. So she used a fake photo to show people what she went through. I think the general consensus is, yeah, she's cuckoo crazy, and she was dead ass wrong for this, no matter how she tries to justify it.
I mean,
I love her. I love her music, but she is weird as hell. But that's the industry, that Illuminati, that cocaine to the misbrain. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because she wasn't weird. I actually met her at a hair show. She came down here and did a hair show maybe 3-4 years ago. And you ask him, why did he go to a hair show? Well, I'm a photographer. Of course, I went as a videographer, as a photographer. That's not the point.
It's actually not a stress. Not for me. It wasn't. I actually never would have thought to ask that question, but.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I told myself. But she wasn't weird. They're very, very pleasant. Seemed to be very intelligent, very engaging with, the conversation we had. I thought we was going to start talking or something. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's just how personable she is. But you get the wrong people around you, and they can mess you up. And if you start, believing your hype, or if you letting your celebrity dictate to you who you are, that can mess you up. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's always tough because when I always joke about somebody like Mike Tyson. We talk about having the wrong people around you. Mm-hmm. I always said, if Customato lived another 10 years, yeah, Mike would still be broke, but he wouldn't go to jail for rape, and he would not have owned a tiger, because Cus would have set him straight. I mean, all these cats go broke. But I mean, I don't think he would have went to prison if Customato was alive in another 10 years, because he was the only person who seemed to have his best interest in mind. And so I don't know who was in Chrisette Michele's corner, But yeah, they're not doing a good job at all. Because now, as far as her music goes, I can't coach to that because everybody listens to their mumble rap and shit like that, and so I can't dictate as far as the music side. But as far as like her PR side, like I can't believe that if she had someone in the corner, they would have told her that was a good idea to bring a picture of a miscarriage onto the morning show or whatever it was. Like, I can't picture somebody being like, double thumbs up, great idea. Because I did that all week. So I don't know.
One of the comments said she definitely has like one of the most imaginative PR teams, and I must.
You mean an imaginary PR team? Because I couldn't imagine another human being co-signing on that horse shit.
It's their job to spin it, and the hate is real, but sometimes it's deserved.
Yeah. Yeah,
I hate her, but I do hate what she's done. I just think it's just deplorable.
Right.
And I hope she takes a step back, really get to know herself, get to really rebalance and recalibrate, because she has a lot of talent, and this world needs her voice, because SZA and Drea and I don't even know these singers, but it's, some of these songs, I think I was talking to you about it the other day, it's like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? It's like subliminally fucking up these youth. And Michelle, that was her name, Chrisette Michelle, didn't have music that negatively impacted youth in that way. But the song about how you could have them 4 days out the week and I get them on the weekend, baby, 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 and things like that. What is we telling these young ladies, these young women, how to navigate their lives? Because unfortunately, a lot of women do get it from their mom. Unfortunately, their moms might be highly influenced by this ideology too. In my hood, I've seen this happen a lot, and this was considered a norm, and maybe she's just speaking her truth. Unfortunately, we need a better truth in our lives, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like they weren't songs like that back in the 80s. What was that SOS band song? I don't care about your other girls, just be good to me.
Oh, that was the jam, boy.
So they had songs like that, but you mostly had songs about love and relationships and heartbreak and stuff like that normal people go through. So. But now, like songs like that, it just dominate the airwaves. Like
97.5. That bitch spins every 25 minutes or more. I promise you. I can turn on the radio, and I promise you, within one commute, I heard that song or some variation or something in that lane. But mainly that song is crazy. But the crazy thing is, as much as I'm hating on the concept, I just love the way she sings that shit.
Yeah, I haven't heard it, but I know. Like, there are songs that, every song you listen to doesn't need to have a message, let's just get that out of the way. But every song can't be negative. So, but hopefully, Chrisette Michelle will see the, hopefully she'll get back on track. Because, people can forgive, I was going to say people can forgive Michael Richards, but they haven't. Because I haven't seen him since that day, the day he snapped. Ed called that dude a nigger on stage. I haven't seen him since. I thought he was dead. So, yeah, the industry can be very unforgiving. So hopefully, if she comes back strong, hopefully they'll show her some love. So.
All right. Well, that's all I had. So, what's up next, Mr. Moderator? Where's Blue?
I'm right here. I was just thinking about something. I'm gonna do a little quick one, not 360 degrees. In fact, we all are format. Fuck the 360-second thing today, because we're just not organized as much as we used to be. This week, it's been an odd ass week, right? How you gonna be like 45 degrees in the morning and 80 in the afternoon? Do you know how crazy that's making my body feel right now?
That's called late October, early November in North Carolina.
I promise you, bruh. I promise you. It ain't ever been like this in the previous years I've been here. I can't remember a time it's been like this. I don't remember wearing short sleeves like this in November. I don't remember only wearing a sweater one day out of the last 30 days. You know what I'm saying?
I do. All the time. I remember it being hot as hell on Thanksgiving. So get ready. It's going to keep going.
I tell you, I went to the store one morning, and I saw a kid at the supermarket, a high school kid, because the high school is right near the supermarket. And he was wearing a winter coat with the hood over and a little face mask and shorts. And with this weather, I'm like, you know what? He's going to be all right. He'll be perfectly fine, because that's the type of weather we've been having lately. So I definitely hear you on that, man.
Yeah, so we hating on the weather today. Jeez, North Carolina, get your shit together, man. All right, I got a quickie. Ooh, Davey, I like it like that. Papa John's. Oh my gosh, I forgot his name. John Shimada. We're gonna say John Shimada. Fuck.
Hate is real.
Oh my gosh, this guy's going off on a tangent about how he believes that the racism in the NFL and their inability for the owners to get their slaves in line. No, he didn't say slaves, but he didn't say
slaves, but he may as well. He may as well have. Yeah.
But let's be honest. Since moving to North Carolina, I have not had a Papa John's pizza, but I ain't gonna lie, I used to eat it a lot when I lived in Charleston. And, the pizza ain't all that anyway. Could it be that, Domino's has switched their game up and they're the go-to right now? That Pizza Hut has the combinations that some people go in that direction. That people just don't want no pasty-ass cardboard tasting like pizza.
I'll put it like this. For me, being a pizza snob, being from New York, for my fast food pizza, it used to go, and Papa John's used to be the best of the fast food pizza, but that's like having the best type of cancer, So to me, it was Papa John's, Domino's, Pizza Hut, and then Little Caesars. And then Pizza Hut was basically like if you took a sponge that you just cleaned out a pan with after you made hamburgers and you pour some tomato sauce on it. That's Pizza Hut. Little Caesars, my mom used to buy it on Fridays because she wouldn't cook on Fridays. And she'd be like, oh, we can get 2 whole Sicilian pies for $5. I'm like, you know why, Ma? Because this shit sucks. I didn't curse at her, but I'm just saying, because this is the worst pizza ever made. But Papa John's used to be the best of the fast food pizzas, and now they're down to like third. Domino's is kicking their tail now. Their pizza's actually actually decent now. Like, they actually worked on it. Because it used to be terrible. But that's stuff that you eat when there's nothing else to eat. Like, if Papa John's is, like, if you don't live in a place with a White Castle and that's open all the time, or an IHOP, and Papa John's is still open, I guess I'll eat Papa John's. It's food that you eat so that you don't die. So
he needs to be honest with himself. I mean,
well, and that's the thing. He's not being honest. Their pizza sucks because he puts more money.
The advertising scheme is the wackest. The food quality isn't where I would like it. I'm very partial to Domino's chicken pizza with garlic sauce and tomatoes and spinach. That's just me though. And this is different things that Domino's got it going on. I don't know who you said ranks higher, but I would say Domino's fucking with them.
No, I mean, like I said,
he's
Domino's.
He's angry. He's hating on the NFL's conundrum because he just lost $70 million. And yeah, losing $70 million is something to be mad about. I'll be mad too. But what you need to own is the fact that you're not running business like you're supposed to, and maybe where you was at was where you should have capitalized on that a little bit better. But based on where we at in America, there's going to be some mountains, there's going to be some valleys, and right now for you, Papa Johnny, it's a fucking valley, a fucking ditch.
Well, that valley got dug even deeper because I heard after those comments, I might need to verify this, but the word on the street says he lost another several million in a day.
Yeah.
Like after he made those comments, so it was like backlash to his shit talking.
It's the fact that Papa John's is the epitome of Republicans because it's basically everyone else needs to have personal responsibility except me. I can blame all my issues on other people because I'm Papa John, but everyone else needs to have personal responsibility. He's like, why should I pay for other people's health care? And here's the thing. Here's if Papa John's is an idiot and not really all that good of a businessman, because if Papa John had pushed for universal health care, right, yes, he would personally have to pay a little bit more in taxes, but his business would not have to pay for health care because it would all go through the government, right? So that's a huge. I'm not going to give numbers, but for what I pay in health care for my job pays like 3 times as much. So health care for jobs is horribly expensive, right? So I could bitch about how much I pay all I want to. My job is paying that much more. So Papa John was against single-payer health care when when that would have helped him immensely. So when you talk about you lost $70 million in a day, I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, you did that. Because first of all, your food sucks dog dick, and second of all, you're a shitty businessman because you're looking for your own personal ideology instead of what's good for your business. Single payer would be excellent for his business, for all businesses, because then they wouldn't have to worry about health care. But, he's Papa John, and all he's got to do is blame on a bunch of black people kneeling. And not blame on the fact that his pizza, that the cardboard that the pizza comes in tastes better than the actual pizza.
He's official, he's definitely one of the NFL, the official NFL sponsor. And I'm sure, probably most of his money came on Super Bowl day and definitely on Thursdays and Mondays and whatever other days they play football. I can't wait. He's trying to call their bluff, and he's threatening to pull. I'm how garbage ass people always threaten to pull their input, their support. But anyway, he's threatening to pull himself as a sponsor, and I'm sure it will be the end of Papa John's if he does that, because he's already hanging on by a thread with the sponsorship. So if people were buying your Kool-Aid before, they're certainly not going to buy it now, because where are your ads going to be? So it'll be interesting, because he'll basically prove what we already know, that you're not making money off the NFL. You stop making money because your pizza is garbage.
I mean, it's a shitty business model if you only make money. I mean, I know that happens at retail a lot, where that's why they call it Black Friday, because that's the day when a lot of retailers get back into the black after losing money all year. But if you are a food service, and a food service that only makes money during a certain time of the year, yeah, that says something about your shitty-ass food. McDonald's doesn't do that. McDonald's, whether they are making money or losing money, it's not because of a certain time of the year. It's because of, hey, somebody, KFC is doing better than us, or Taco Bell or Chipotle is doing better than us, and we got to try and catch up. It's not about, it's not it's not St. Patrick's Day, so we're not pushing these Shamrock Shakes. So I guess we're just not. It doesn't work like that. If that's Papa John's business model, he's only making money during the Super Bowl. He's a shitty ass businessman, and he's just more lucky than skillful. Because he's worth $250 million, so he's not doing bad. He's doing good, but now he's taking that cutback and blaming the NFL players. That's not helping, because we got choices, man. It's not like Walmart. We don't have a choice.
Don't need a lot of money to 45's campaign. Ask him to get your ass out. Ask him for a bailout and see how far they get you.
Yeah.
But I don't want to hear it.
Where's your personal responsibility? Well, that only works if you're not a Republican. Only Republicans can't have personal responsibility. Everyone else needs to pull themselves up by the bootstraps. And somebody made a point of, yeah, that's great, but what if you don't have any shoelaces? How are you supposed to do that?
You use your Velcro.
You don't have any boots. What if you have no shoes?
I had Velcro sneakers. Back in 86, 87.
I ain't telling on myself, but...
Me neither.
Nah,
I'm going to say never.
I had that. I was like I'm never gonna have shoelaces ever again. And as soon as '88 came, back to shoelaces. So
there you go. I ain't mad at that. I barely even tie my shoes. I tuck them like a lazy ass every now and then. It depends on what I'm wearing. If I'm wearing canvas shoes, tuck. If I'm going to a business meeting, let me tie the perfect bow. All right, one more thing. White college girl poisons black roommate. Well, we ain't even got to go into the details, but what the fuck is this shit? Now people are trying to say it's not racism, it's mental illness. Okay, maybe racism is
There's always I could have wrote that script 2 weeks ago.
I've always heard.
Looking for that hot shit. This racist shit is bullshit. Oh, go ahead.
I've heard more than one argument that racism is a mental illness, So, but in this, I didn't get a chance to read up on the story. So, just give me a quick recap on this.
Oh, okay. I thought I was gonna jump in and do it, but I go ahead and do it.
Well, I didn't want to, interrupt on that.
All right, so I don't know. I might even have it wrong. Please, correct me where I'm wrong, okay? So, there's like a roommate situation. I guess they were going to, was it Harvard? Oh, shit, don't get me the line.
No, it wasn't an Ivy League school, but it was a
Harvard,
school in
University of Harvard, Connecticut, my home state. Okay, there you go. I guess they were roommates. The white girl, her name was Brianna Ray Brochu, and then and the African, well, she's not even African American, she's Jamaican. Okay.
Yeah.
Her name is Chanel. Damn it, I don't know her name on this. Chanel Jazzy Rowe. Okay. So I guess they had beef. The white girl was just like, Okay, so let me zoom out, segue real quick, because I noticed that when I lived in Connecticut, we didn't have like the out in your face racism like in the South, like you fucking nigger, you fucking get off my land, you're trespassing. Nah, bitch, this is public fucking road. You're on my land. All the land is mine. I'm white, motherfucker. I just channeled my inner David Chappelle as the Black Klansman. Damn, I missed that motherfucker. Damn, okay, anyways. So I guess they just having beef, you know what I'm saying? She'd be like, that bitch, in her mind. So she just do little slack shit. She'll put the roommate's toothbrush up in her anus and get off on her like, ooh, oh yeah.
The girl got sick. Like, real talk, like the girl actually got sick. Not even know. So,
I got some more shit to talk about. I got some more shit. I got to say the other nasty shit she did. She put moldy stuff into her, like, her lotion that she put on her skin. She put, what else did she do? She did
tampons was on her backpack, licking her plate.
She put used tampons that was in her cooter. And you know how them girls, they be wilding out on the campus. So the cooter might have had some chlamydia, some gonorrhea, or syphilis on it or something. And she would rub it on her nice, pretty roommate's purse. The bitch was slack. But the crazy thing is, the girl got sick. Miss Chanel got sick. Didn't know why she was getting sick. You come from Jamaica, you come from America. Merc, you might know about that. Especially when you go to, would know it better than anybody. When you come from other countries, isn't there always like that one day where you're just not right? You know what I'm saying? When you get back?
Yep. Yeah, she just assumed like, I'm getting adjusted to the temperature.
Connecticut is so fucking cold. Ugh, the air is crazy nasty because of all the pollution. I just don't feel good. But anyway, so finally the girl is just like, yeah, I got that bitch.
Her Jamaican Barbie, that's what she called her.
Yeah, Jamaican Barbie. And she put all this shit on the internet. She just told on herself like stupid ass trumpeter. But anyways, and then like, whoop, she got caught. So then, Jazzy, Chanel, whatever, she was like, oh, so look, this girl, this is what she did to me. Da, 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 da. And so then, the white girl, Brianna Brochu, 18 years old, was arrested. Wasn't arrested for a hate crime. I forgot the grounds of the arrest. I don't even know off the top. But and now she's faced with expulsion. Seems like expulsion would have came first, but whatever. University of Hartford is actually a good school, but it's for what I remember, 78. It's a good percentage of.
She was charged with second-degree breach of peace and third-degree criminal mischief. That was according to state records. Mm-hmm. When the initial files were charged, but what happened was they got so much smoke that by the first they they went ahead and said after a review, they'll be requesting an added charge of intimidation based on bigotry or bias, and which is a second-degree felony.
Oh, shit.
Now,
so this has been updated.
My thing is this, right? And like I said, I haven't been following the story. I've been seeing it on my feed, but I hadn't had a chance to actually read it all the way through. Is there any proof that this was racially motivated? Or was
like,
it just,
why didn't you like her other than like her being black or Jamaican?
Yeah, or was it just a matter of, I just don't like her for something personal, but not necessarily something racist?
That I don't know, but
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just slack. I mean, she put that girl's toothbrush in her skanky ass and then let Chanel put that in her mouth. That's wrong.
Yeah. Oh no, I agree. That's hard. That's sick and twisted. But
like, is she basically, you're asking, is she just a bitch? Like, did she just not like?
Yeah. Because I would figure for them to charge her with a racial crime, it'd have to be some sort of, I mean, you don't have to have like a swastika tattooed on your forehead to be involved in a racial crime.
The Jamaican Barbie statement has a lot of weight to me. If I were to look at that, I'm like, why did you have to call her Jamaican Barbie? That to me says
okay.
You don't like her. You know what I'm saying? Like, when she called her Jamaican Barbie, that's the insinuation there. Because, like, if you think that she's so prissy like a Barbie, or you think she's so perfect like a Barbie, then what problem? Who doesn't like Barbie? You know what I'm saying?
I hate Barbie. Fuck that bitch.
The insult part
long,
is the Jamaican part.
Neck. I mean, what the fuck? That giraffe neck? Where they get that shit from? I mean, I did see some African tribes with that. It looks beautiful on them. But a fucking white doll with a long, skinny neck. I'm Barbie.
But like that's my point. Is the Jamaican part that was the insult? You see what I'm saying? Like,
I'm sorry.
He didn't.
Pretty harsh.
It was like, I've gone too far.
But yeah, I definitely think the connotation is there. Like, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to put two and two together. Like, and this ain't got to be no slam dunk. And the fact that it has been gaining so much steam on social media, I'm hoping justice will get served, but whatever.
And don't get me wrong, I want this chick to go to jail in the worst way, because that's premeditated. You know, that's not something you do on a whim. That's something you think about.
She didn't do it one time, and then, right. You know what I'm saying, feel bad about it. But what pissed me off, I mean, I'm just like, the complacency of these other white people who seen the shit. It wasn't until the girl moved out that she figured out, like, what happened to her. So y'all seen this bitch post all this stuff about what she's doing to this girl, and y'all ain't say nothing until she left. Like, what the fuck? What's wrong with people?
Zoom out though. Check it out. The school, like when this happened and shit, they said, yo, Chanel, don't speak on this, you know what I mean? Because if you do, you're not going to be allowed to live on campus. Let that resonate with you right there.
Hi, Mr. Blue.
But I mean, my thing is this.
Hold up, I don't think you understood what I just said. Because you're not being angry enough. The university
I didn't realize you were finished.
Oh, no, I was done. That's it. I dropped the mic, motherfucker.
Oh. But my thing is this, right? I don't want the internet to be a trial lawyer, to be trying crimes, to just say, okay, well, if they were going to put her in, and I don't know how many years or how many months in prison those charges carry.
Class B felony carries a potential sentence of 1 to 5 years in prison. The intimidation law states that a person is guilty of intimidation based on bigotry or bias in the second degree when such person maliciously and with specific intent to intimidate or harass another person because of the actual or perceived race, religion, ethnicity, disability, sexual orientation, or gender identity or expression of such other person does any of the following: causes physical contact with the other person, or damages, destroys any real or personal property of the person, or threatens by word or act to act described in subdivision, or a subsection if there's a reasonable cause to believe that an act described in subdivision or if the subsection will occur. So I would say that it meets the criteria for one, which is causes physical contact with such another person, as her fecal matter was in that girl's mouth. Now her mouth smelled like hot nanny. You know what I'm saying?
And the thing is, that wasn't the original charge, right? The original charge was something lesser.
That came after the media. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, after the internet was like, oh, what the fuck is going on? It's school. I never go there.
And the Jamaican Barbie thing that she said, yeah, that's not cool. I mean, none of it is cool. I'm just saying, like, that just kind of, that coupled with the pressure from the internet just kind of sealed her fate on that one. Like, if she had just, you know, then her lawyer could have probably pushed it off as just one roommate versus another, and not have to bring race into it. But when she made that comment, it was just like, yeah, you're gonna, you know. And I think in this case it kind of worked out, but in another case it might not work out. And somebody who, not innocent, but somebody who had the appropriate charges filed against them, if the internet can pressure them, I mean, in this case it worked out, but in another case it might not. So I'm just hoping that this doesn't become a thing where the internet is trying cases. Because, I mean, it doesn't, I mean, this is not the kind of country where you could just watch 2 episodes of Matlock and then you're a lawyer now. You know, or watch it.
Well, my hope is,
I
hope your hope comes true. Right, and I hope your request comes true, Merc. But unfortunately, it won't. Because what law enforcement needs to do is charge people 2 things equally and fairly. Because if that was role reversed, it would. I promise you, off the rip, it would have got that girl on assault and battery or something severe, just off the top. Because we are highly penalized just by the color of our skin.
Something to fuck up her future forever.
Right, exactly. Like, off the top. There would have been no little misdemeanors. It would have been off the top something heinous, like, at the very minimum, an assault, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Which is a low-level felony, but it doesn't matter. It's the key word is felony, you know what I mean? And so I'm going to tell you, in the words of Cardi B, you hate on, if I don't fuck with, so help me out now. If I don't fuck with you, I fuck with you forever. I mean, what is it? Hate on me, I don't hate on you forever. If I don't fuck with you, I don't fuck with you forever. I mean, what? I can't remember the lyrics.
I don't know the lyrics of the song, but I remember when she was on Love and Hip Hop and said that, she was like, it was, she said forever. She said it like
my friend's quoting Cardi B like she's Abraham Lincoln now.
Oh my God, she's the best. Shout out to Cardi B and Offset.
Yeah, I don't like her no more than I should go with Offset, to be honest. But okay.
Whatever. I'm happy for Cardi. If you like it, I love it.
All right. Sorry, Marcus. No, we've been moving on our tangents. Your turn.
Oh, it's all good. I mean, like I said, a lot of weird stuff happened this week. But
shit, every week. Fuck, man. Really. This
should
be like a 5-hour show to catch up and shit.
But one thing happened that was not totally unexpected, but still made me mad anyway. So, and we were talking about hate, like this girl hating on her roommate so much that she poisoned her with her duty, you know, and all this other stuff. But when I talk about hate, right, there's like casual hate, like when I say something like I hate watermelon, right? We just throw that word around casualty. Or celebrity hate, like I hate Ben Affleck, or I hate Lil Nutsack, or whatever mumble rappers on top of the charts, you know. It's not that I want anything bad to happen to these people. It's just like I just hate looking at their stupid faces and hearing their stupid music, right? But political hate has a lot more merit because the decisions of other people that they make have an effect on you. And their refusal to see that can generate some strong feelings toward the other side. You know, we talked about how people are mad because, like, so conservatives get mad because liberals won't date them. And they actually put it on their dating profile, like, if you're a Trump fan, swipe left, don't even bother because you ain't getting none, you know. So politics is polarizing, you know. Papa John, well, like I said, we talked about Papa John's. His pizza's shit, that's why he's losing money. It's not the NFL. But NFL is catching on both sides because they're mad. Half the people who are protesting are mad because athletes are kneeling, and the other half are mad because athletes are kneeling. So it's just, it generates a lot of hard feelings. So right now, for me, I'm a man without a party. Okay, I'm an independent, and I've been one since the great betrayal of the DNC to progressives. So now, I hate Democrats and I hate Republicans because ain't none of them worth shit. Now, on their face, Democrats are usually fine, but it's kind of like with Democrats, it's like, all right, you just watch Batman save 3 kids from a burning orphanage, and then you find out later on that night he got drunk and strangled the hooker to death. And the Democrats would just be like, but he did save those kids, though. And in the end, isn't that the most important thing, that those kids are safe? Totally glossing over the fact that he got drunk and strangled the hooker to death. That's the Democrats right now. So they're like, forget the fact that we're horrible and corrupt, but we're still better than Donald Trump. That's like saying, well, I may be a disease, but I'm not colon cancer. You're still a disease. So until this past election, I thought that cognitive dissonance was a Republican thing. And now I'm starting to see that it's an American thing. Not just for one political party, it's for everybody. So I had someone tell me this morning, and I'm not making this shit up to be funny, that for the past 20 years, every clip of Donald Trump being horrible is taken out of context. I was like, the fuck is you talking about? How? Everyone knows this quote from Donald Trump. He says, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful women. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. I just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. You can grab them by the pussy. You can do anything. How is that out of context? It's not. There is no way.
Fine. But Mark, my question, I'm not a Trumpeteer fan or anything.
Go ahead.
But we've all said and done things that we probably wish we didn't do. And that was years before he was the president. Why are we using that as ammunition against him? I might have said something 4 years ago that I no longer believe or align myself with today. You know what? I used to be a Democrat, but like you, I'm also an independent.
Right.
I would have strongly defended the Democrats 4 years ago. Not so much today.
Right.
Are you still going to hold me to what I said about the Democrats 4 years ago?
No,
because I've grown and I'm changed and I'm better.
Yeah, but Trump hasn't grown and he hasn't changed.
Aye.
So if he's a better man now and we're just holding that against him, that's one thing. But he's still the same pile of shit he was 20 years ago.
He still defends those things that he said.
Yeah, nothing has changed.
Mark, let me ask you a question because you're from New York. Don't get offended. It's a question.
No, go ahead.
Did Trump grab your mama by the cootie?
No, because my mom would have punched him in his nose. She would have knocked his fucking jaw.
Your passion is unparalleled. It's like, he grabbed her in the pussy. Hold on. Another question. This is going to be the end of my questions. Okay. Did he grab you in your cootie?
No. Well, first of all, because I don't have one. And second of all, the same thing. I'd have knocked his jaw loose. So, yeah, that would have been the world's shortest sexual harassment case.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, put it like this, right? I rag on Republicans and I say, the hashtag MAGA page was the world's, the saddest short stories. But lately, the Hillbots, they've been out there, okay? So you heard about the Donna Brazile thing, right? She's writing a book. And there's an excerpt from her book that explains the level of corruption at the DNC. So this is from Vox, right? And this is a excerpt from her book. So bear with me here. So it says, Donna Brazile, a longtime Clinton ally who stepped in his DNC chair last year in the wake of Debbie Wasserman Schultz's resignation, published an excerpt from her book in Politico, in which she disclosed the details of a fundraising agreement between the DNC and the Clinton campaign reached in August of 2015. So Donna Brazile says the agreement, signed by Amy Dacey, former CEO of the DNC, and Clinton campaign manager Robbie Mook, with a copy to Mark Elias, who was the Clinton campaign counsel, specified that in exchange for raising money and investing in the DNC, Hillary would control the party's finances, strategy, and all the money raised. Okay. Brazil added of the deal, Clinton's campaign had the right of refusal of who would be in the party communications, who would be the party communications director, and it would make final decisions on all other staff. The DNC also was required to consult with the campaign about all of the staffing, budgeting, data, analytics, and mailings. So what that means is, even before Clinton was the nominee, she was in control of the DNC, because the DNC was bleeding money, and that's Obama's fault, because he left Debbie Wasserman Schultz in charge. Debbie Wasserman Schultz was paying consultants even when they weren't needed, and they bled the coffers dry. So Hillary steps in, says, listen, you know, I'll bail you out, but these are my conditions, right? So even before she was the nominee, she was in control. Right? And that's the thing that a lot of people aren't, on the Hillary side, aren't connecting with. Okay? Here's where the hate comes in my part, right? For over a year, Bernie supporters like me have been told that we're just being babies, that the Hillbots are the grown-ups, and we're just the whining little brats who won't see the truth. And now that the truth has been laid out before them, right? And when I say this is not just what Donna Brazile said, she had the paperwork. So it's not like that's just her opinion. There's papers that prove this. Okay? Now they're pretending that all that stuff doesn't exist. So they get on Twitter and say, show me the proof of the DNC favoring Hillary, and when that proof is listed in bullet points, right, they just blow it off. All right? Put it like this. 2016 primaries, right? Democratic primaries. All the southern states were stacked at the beginning. And I went back to 2012, and I looked at the schedule, and all the southern states were spread out almost evenly, right? Hell, by Super Tuesday, most of the southern states were already done. And that was a big change. Why? Because Hillary could win southern states based totally on her name recognition. No one knows who Bernie Sanders is in Arkansas. No one knows who Bernie Sanders is in Tennessee or Kentucky, but they know the Clintons. So they were voting based on that name recognition. So you get that early lead, and then you could just say, well, why would you vote for Bernie? Hillary's going to have this in the bag. Even though Bernie almost closed a 60-point lead to take over Hillary. Because the more Hillary talked, the less people liked her. And Hillary knows that. That's why she had to get that early lead. And now we know that since she was in control of the strategy, that was all her to have that switched over. And they won't accept that. Even Patton Oswalt, right? One of my favorite comedians. I just saw his new special. I thought it was really good. So he tweeted, so shitty of Hillary to pay off the DNC's debt, fund her own campaign, and boost down-ticket candidates. Thank God Honest Donnie won. And I've never thought I would ever say this in my life about Patton Oswalt, but the fuck are you talking about? Here's a clip from Bloomberg Politics, okay? He claims that Clinton funded her own campaign, right? That is absolutely wrong. According to Bloomberg Politics, Clinton and her super PAC raised a total of $1.2 billion, okay? Her sophisticated fundraising operation included a small army of wealthy donors who wrote seven-figure checks, hundreds of bundlers who raised $100,000 or more from their own networks, and a small dollar donor operation modeled on the one used by Obama in 2012. Okay? So she raised $1.2 billion and still lost to Trump because Trump got over $1 billion of free TV time. That was part of it, other than the fact that she ran a shit campaign otherwise. But she raised $1.2 billion. Hillary Clinton is not a billionaire. You understand? So how was she funding her own campaign if her campaign cost, if she raised $1.2 billion? So once again, I will ask Mr. Oswalt, what the fuck are you talking about? You can't just sweep this under the rug. So do you think that this is going to make progressives go, oh, okay, well now it's out in the open. Even Sean King, And I want to say it was Sean King. I was trying to find the exact quote because I answered it, and I don't know if it was taken down or what, but I answered to it. And it may have been somebody that Sean King was retweeting. Sean King is a journalist. He writes for Daily News and other publications. He's actually really good. I'm actually a fan of his. But either he wrote or retweeted that now that all this is out in the open, that now maybe the healing can begin and we can kind of close this rift between the Democrats and the progressives. And I said, no, we can't, because that wound that you speak of is still filled up with broken glass, and the rift is so wide, Evel Knievel couldn't even jump it. So there is no way that this is going to – we're going to lose in 2018 and 2020. I guarantee that. I've been saying that, not because I want it to happen. It's just the way it is. I could see the writing on the wall. Even when the walls all come down, as the song goes, the writing is still there. The Democrats have lost. So right now, progressives are spending more time primarying corporate Democrats than they are fighting against the Republicans. So right now, there is I forgot her name, but now even Dianne Feinstein in California, who's powerful. She's been in politics for like 40 years. She's getting primaried. And this could go down to the wire, because there are a lot of progressives in California right now who are angry at corporate Democrats because California should be a paradise of progressive ideas. And now you have their Speaker of the House saying, single-payer health care for California? Well, no, I don't think there's going to be enough money in it, so we're just going to push this off to the side. We're not even going to vote on it. So Dianne Feinstein could lose. And at first I was like, she's probably going to win again because she always wins. I don't know this time, because people are fed up with these corporate Democrats. And now it's like I'm fighting a war on two fronts, because now I'm fighting against the Trump fans, and now I'm fighting against the Hillary fans who want to keep the status quo. So it generates a lot of political hate. Like my friend,
two evils. That goes back to what we've been talking about with politics, and people keep saying, "Oh, but it's not the lesser of two evils. I shouldn't have to pick between two shitty ass candidates." But honestly, like it doesn't seem to be affecting change when we say, "Well, I'm going to vote for the lesser of the two." Like, it's still putting us in a shitty ass position, no matter how you slice it. So right. Shouldn't you just vote for the lesser if nothing's really going to change? Right.
So it's just basically, what it's like to me, between voting Democrat and voting Republican right now, when you have a corporate Democrat running, it's like being raped 2 days in a row by a Republican and a Democrat, but the Democrat used a condom. So now, at least you don't have herpes, right? So you're good.
Oh, man.
So I know it's a horrible analogy, but that's how it feels sometimes.
That is a terrible analogy. I would have gone with food. But
I know. Rape is not something that should be used in an analogy. I know, but it's kind of how I feel. It's just like, yeah, but you're still giving us the same shit deal. And, all right, at least the Republicans just want to go backwards. They want to repeal stuff. They want to take stuff away. But the Democrats don't want to give you anything. They just want you to stay right where you are. But staying right where you are is unsustainable. So, yeah, Republicans want to lower your minimum wage, right? Democrats want to keep it where it is. Corporate Democrats, anyway, not progressives. They want it to go to 15 or 20. But staying right where you are, that's unsustainable. If you work in fast food and you work there full time and you work in New York, well, now New York raised their minimum wage, so that's a bad example, because now New York is going to be eventually be $15 an hour. They passed that measure in New York. So it's going to go up to, like, I think, help me out here. I think it's going to go up to like 12 and then eventually 15. They're going to put up in layers. But there are some states where people work full time for minimum wage, and minimum wage is unsustainable. There are maybe 2 counties, not 2 states, 2 counties in the whole of the United States where you can actually afford an apartment on minimum wage. You know how many counties are in a state? And there are only 2 counties in the country where you can get a 1-bedroom, 1-bath on the minimum wage. Everywhere else, it's unsustainable. So status quo is just as, it's like we're not doing anything, we're not going anywhere. And it's really going to hurt the Democrats in 2018 because when they feel that, it's like you said, Odie, people don't, voting against the lesser 2 evils is not getting people over to the polls. You have to give them something to vote for. You have to give them hope and then put that effort forth to make those dreams come true. You can't just say, well, at least we're not you know who got away with that? Obama. Because Obama got a Nobel Peace Prize for not being George Bush.
Just for not, like, there were a lot of efforts by his administration.
No, absolutely.
To really, unify for real. Like his shit was all about unification.
Right. But he got that Nobel Peace Prize before any of it could even come to pass. They were just like, thank God he's not George Bush. Give him a Nobel Peace Prize. That doesn't work in regular politics. And it's gonna hurt. Blue, what do you think? Do you think that this rift, and every day it's just getting worse between the Democrats and the progressives. Do you think this is going to get any better before 2018 or 2020?
The game is sold not to be told, and you just told it all, man. I just don't see good things happening out of this. Like you
what
said,
the hell is my decoder? Because I've already decoded that. All right. Anyway.
Trump beginning like he might get another one because white is right and everything else is wrong, and we're just going to have to accept it. Go ahead and get your Michael Jackson bleaching cream right now and get started, buddy.
Honestly, though, I was thinking it's kind of interesting you brought up the Nobel Peace Prize. So I was thinking if 45 has to bestow a Medal of Freedom honor on anyone,
oh my
who
God,
would he give that to? What does that look like?
Well, David Duke would definitely get one, and then Sheriff Joe would get one.
I believe that.
The guy who ran over all those people in Charlottesville, he'll probably get one.
Yep.
Maybe he'll give one to George Papadopoulos after he's pardoned. I'll talk more about Trump and his troubles with his cabinet on Monday. That's a whole nother, as David Cross says, that's a whole nother kettle of shitty fish.
For sure. All right, and that concludes this episode of 360 Degrees. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast via searching for The Urban Breakdown. Last words, people. We'll start with Odie.
Don't forget, Election Day, the runoff, local elections. The runoff is this Tuesday, the 7th.
Yes.
And good luck. Make sure you hit the polls. Because we all know you're hitting the other ones, so hit the ones that matter. And Tyrese, just cancel your Instagram account, bro. It's okay, at least for a little bit.
Yeah, there's no elections around my way, but still, your local elections are important because that affects you directly. So please, go out and vote. And like I said, 2018 is a year away, midterms. So if you live in a state that has voter ID laws, you got a year to get yourself an ID and get in there and vote. So.
That concludes another episode. Stay tuned for the next one.
Yeah, I walk like this cause I'm the shit. And bitch, I talk like this cause I'm the shit. And can't no other bitch shut it down like this. So let the band play while I talk my shit. Cause bitch, I'm a cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Bitch, I'm a cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Bitch, I'm a cocky motherfucker. You were way too concerned with your position in the city. While I was in New York taking trips, sitting pretty. Catch bitch vouch for that. Top 10, DJ Envy. You say you're making moves, but ain't really fucking with me. I took some time off just to let you do your thing. And now a bitch back and ain't a damn thing changed. I see you switch your style, look, color in your hair. You're trying to find sex appeal that clearly isn't there. Me, muggy, looking funny when I come around. Cringing at the fact, Sadie Hawkins stole the crown. Bitches wanna see me fall, knock me off my grind. Now watch you spit my rhyme on the real drum line, bitch. I walk like this cause I'm the shit. And bitch, I talk like this cause I'm the shit. And can't no other bitch shut it down like this. So let the band play while I talk my shit. Cause bitch, I'm a cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Bitch, I'm a cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Bitch, I'm a cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Miss Sadie Hawkins, it's time for a road change. Got these hoes standing in the line. Soul train. I don't even know these bitches. No names. Make these bitches pull their hair out. Road gang. I'm a sedity bitch. Run the whole city, bitch. I get that dirty money. Niggas thinking that I'm Diddy's bitch. I'm on my nigga shit. Swag so ignorant. All these hoes dumbfounded, dumb, belligerent. Dudes wanna wife it. Chicks wanna bite it. And I might just let them and give a fuck who don't like it. S-A-D-I, 10 like Eli. These hoes stay playing, but I'm serious. I walk like this cause I'm the shit. And bitch, I talk like this cause I'm the shit. And can't no other bitch shut it down like this. So let the band play while I talk my shit. Cause bitch, I'm a cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Bitch, I'm a cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Bitch, I'm a cocky motherfucker. Cocky bitch, I'm a cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Bitch, I'm a cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Bitch, I'm a cocky motherfucker. Cocky motherfucker. Sit down, you know word around the city. Sadie Hawkins is the hottest, and you know the chicks are ditty. I step up on the scene feeling like $1 million bucks. I hate to be you, yeah, I know your life sucks. I never been a hater, get credit to where it's due for all my cocky motherfuckers. I made this one for you. You can vouch for that, or you can vouch for this. So let the band play while I talk my shit. Yeah, I walk like this cause I'm the shit. And bitch, I talk like this cause I'm the shit. And can't no other bitch shut it down like this.